Where do we see the comments?
Well, we're live now.
Okay.
Oh, hi guys.
Hello.
So, yeah, we're just going to wait for the confirmation that we are live.
Are we live? Are we live?
Awkward silence.
Yeah, so it's, I hope we're live anyway, unless, if anyone's here, please do comment to let us know. There we are. So
Hello,
we're live. We weren't entirely sure whether we got through to the correct stream, but yeah, we are live. And today we've got a trio of Yeti.
Yeah.
Is that your nervous grin there, Rosie? Did you just freeze? Rosie's like, I might just duck out. Yeah, well, hello everybody. Hello. So who have we got?
Oh, Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie.
Yeah, Marky V, Debbie, Amanda, Sarah, Leah.
Hi,
Is that a different Amanda? No, it's jumping around, I think. Who's that one there? Do you want to read that person's name?
Sinead.
You going with Sinead, you? Hi, Shona. It's you owe her a drink.
Oh, is it?
That's the one I always get wrong. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Excellent. So clearly we've replaced Andy and brought in Rosie and Victoria. Her friends call her Vicky.
Very official,
Yeah. So yeah, and we're going to be doing a bit of I think I'm probably going to be taking more of a back seat on this one. I'll just be facilitating, providing some banter,
Moral support.
trying not to put my foot in it.
Yeah.
So what's today about?
Ladies who hike.
Ladies who hike.
Yeah, we were chatting on the weekend. We just had our Bracken training weekend, and I was chatting to some of the girls on there, and we were saying like, yeah, it'd be really helpful to kind of have advice specifically for ladies, because you don't have to think about a lot of these things. Periods, bras, knickers. Yeah, it's all a
Shiwis, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, you're right. and we've done over pretty much, well over 100 Tuesday tune-ins now and never really touched on it because I've never needed to.
No.
So, but yeah, you are right. I think we had a lot of people on the weekend. There's a lot of little foibles that come with being a woman that you have to kind of look after.
Mm-hmm.
Are you like, got away with that one, David? It's a bit close. So, yeah, guys, and obviously any questions that you have for the guys, just drop it in the comments and we'll get through to it. We do have a couple on here, but first of all, I'm going to hand it over now. So you're going to Machu Picchu in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You've already done Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
Go for it. Let's talk.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really hard to get going.
We've got a list, so I think we're just going to work through main points.
Yeah.
Do you want to start? And then I'll.
Well,
actually, hang on. Is this your first Tuesday tune-in?
Yeah.
Well? Yeah, everybody, this is Vicky's first Tuesday tune-in.
Hi, guys.
I want a show of hands as well. Who would like to see Jodie on the Tuesday tune-in as well? Because she is really chomping at the bit.
Yeah, she's like knocking on that door. We've had to lock it and everything.
Yeah, I felt really bad. We were like, oh, Vicky's going first. And Jodie was like, no, I want to get on there. So everybody, if you really do want to see Jodie, just comment with a Jodie or a J in the comments and we'll see how many we get. So obviously there are a lot of things that... there's many different issues. I've been answering questions for a long time on it, from customers and stuff like that, and there's toilets and personal hygiene and things like that, and also equipment which differs. Mm-hmm. So we may as well, I suppose, start with what's first on the list. We can talk a little bit about whatever that is.
Shiwis.
Toilets.
So so we'll touch on toilets and hygiene and things like that, and things you need to look after.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so obviously we're all going to need to stop to go to the toilet en route. Generally, I just squat. I find it easier. Find a nice little quiet place, have a little, squat. Main tip is always make sure you take a Ziploc bag. So if, you're using some tissue or anything, then you have somewhere safe to put it instead of leaving it along the trail or anything, because obviously that's not good. I've tried a Shiwi before. I don't know if you have.
I've actually not. I grew up in the countryside. I've always just dropped
down.
I've literally just dropped. No. It is. It's what I've always been used to. But it I don't know whether I would ever try a Shiwi just because I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But I guess like if you're not, just try it when you're out there in the mountains, when you're near home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth trying if you're looking for something
I would
new.
say definitely try it at home before you go out, because it did not work for me. It was quite a disaster. So I've never actually taken it out on a hike or anything, because it just didn't go too well.
We were just talking in the office, because I'm writing an article about all this at the minute, about like different toilets on the trip. So obviously, if you're doing like Kilimanjaro, Machu Picchu, if you're going on a trek that involves camping, you'll have like an Evertrek private toilet, which will literally like be a tent with like a chemical toilet in. So there's that. But if you're going to be staying in like a tea house, like on one of the Nepal trips, there are a mixtures, aren't there, of Western and kind of squat toilets. So just to be aware of. I always find it weird when I go on holiday and there's like a different toilet. I'm like, oh, it's so bizarre that people just use these from day to day.
No.
But it's just about being open-minded, I guess.
I think definitely in a lot of the countries that we visit and we trek in, you're going to get a mixture of toilets. So at some point, you need to prepare yourself for the absolute certainty that you will be on a long drop, a squat toilet, that type of thing. I think that when you're out and about in the mountains having what we call a wildie, it's not too bad, because you can always say to your guide, I need to go to the toilet. Can you just kind of like show me a place, or make sure no one comes down past that rock or something like that? But I think what really does help is those things, when you're in the lodge or when you're in the tent and stuff like that. I have had some feedback that, getting up and going to the toilet, sometimes there's a queue, sometimes it's below freezing, it's a bit uncomfortable, having to squat and stuff like that. So having something that you can actually wee into in your room or in your tent and something like that really does help. We were just talking about it a minute
Practice
ago.
makes perfect though, guys.
Yeah.
Let's not have any disasters.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about, was it John Weebags?
I thought you meant John, the great bald John. John does use a shiwi.
There is, maybe Fee or Jodie will comment now what they're actually called, but there's a specific like Ziploc bag that has kind of like absorbent crystals in, so it'll make your wee into like a slushy, like a gel, So if you do need to go, then it kind of just absorbs that, and then you zip it up, and then you can dispose of it whenever you're in your next tea house, or when you're back in like civilization, you can just dispose of it responsibly.
There's also some trousers that you can get called Chick-fly, and they do actually now deliver to England, unfortunately not Wales, but they deliver to the US as well, in England. And they've got an extra piece of material on the crotch, so you can literally just open up the material, so you don't have to take down your trousers or anything. So you can just open up the material and squat down if you need to pee. So
how I imagine that is
well.
like, those, do you know those like long johns that people wear on like, the old Western movies where there's two big buttons? Is it like a modern version?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Not quite, but yeah.
This is it. I still need to get over the fact that I can't always be looking fashionable. Like my dad keeps saying to me, Rosie, you just need to suck it up. And I'd rather struggle. I'm still in that space where I'd rather struggle and look better, not like an idiot. I need to definitely get out of that mindset and just get on with it.
It's hard, I'll be honest with you, to try. I mean, trust me, Rosie. When I was on Everest Base Camp, I really had to stop, prettying myself up. Yeah. Luckily, there aren't any mirrors in the rooms, and you just got to make sure you don't catch a reflection in your phone and stuff like that. You'll be fine.
You definitely have to be practical.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but So with regards to the plastic as well, when we talk about bringing these things with you, keep the plastic with you. Take it up to the mountain, take it down from the mountain, because a lot of places don't like the single-use plastics and things like that. Exactly. But honestly, if it's something that you're going to be using for lavatorial purposes or hygiene, I'm sure there's no problem in doing it. I did see a comment in there. Have you tried? I think someone said an extreme shiwi.
Oh my gosh, that sounds scary.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Look at all those J's though.
Oh,
yeah, people want the Jodie. Have you tried the extreme version of the shiwi? Got one recently. Not a massive fan though. Leah, tell us what you mean by the extreme version.
Oh my god!
Like, do you know? I read it out the corner of my eye when you guys were talking, and she said a massive fan, and I was thinking, does it have a fan in it? To go like, just get a big spray. Yeah, so there is a lot of stuff like that. Obviously, I don't want you guys. Let's not put any punches today. Let's talk about all the stuff you have to deal with when you as a lady. What are the problems?
periods?
Yeah.
Should we just
There
get
we
right
go.
into
It's a
periods?
dance.
That was a segue into that. But I was trying to be as like, you
Oh
know.
my god, so awkward. No, I remember when I did my Gold Duke of Edinburgh, I was in sixth form, so I must have been like 17. You know, you're still like dead embarrassed about it at that time. And I remember it coming up and thinking, I'm going to be on my period. It was like we were in like a mixed group, so I was like, oh, it's going to be so obvious. I'm going to the toilet all the time. And yeah, I just remember being absolutely mortified. I chose to contact my GP, and they put me on like a contraceptive pill for a few days before and like whilst I was on the trip, and that just delayed my period. So yeah, if you're going on a trip and you've realised it kind of clashes and you do just want to completely stop it, and you can also double back as well if you are already on the contraceptive pill. But yeah, just speak to your GP, see which works best for you, what's safe with your medication that you're already on and stuff like that. So that is one option that you can do if you're on your period. Or there's so many things on the market now. If you are most comfortable using pads, then go for it by all means. But tampons, they're so compact, and menstrual cups as well. They're really easy. I've never used one personally, but I've heard a lot of people using them. Definitely just get used to them before you go. But in terms of like staying clean, if you just be able to rinse it out with a little bit of water and then put it back in. So yeah, is there anything else that you
can get the period pants, can't you, with the pad already in, which I have seen some people recommend, but they are a bit heavier. Yeah, you might need to take a few more, but I know mostly they last all day, so you won't really need to be worrying about changing pads or anything like that because it's already there. But yeah, I'm not sure if it would really go with the weight limits and things on some of our trips. So,
maybe.
But I guess
use
again,
a cup, says Katie, I think it was.
Yeah, Katie Baker.
Kathy. Is it Kathy? Well,
Kathy. Yeah.
Sorry,
Kathy
Kathy.
Baker. Well, to be honest, we do have a tradition of getting everyone's name wrong. So
Let's keep it going.
Also, I've lost my spectacles, so that right in there is so hard to read. But I don't want to look like you've seen those memes with like when your dad takes a selfie and it's like that's what I'm gonna be like on the camera.
Dave's gone quiet. Dave's just sat there like this. Don't make eye contact. Just sit there and be quiet.
This is a learning experience for me. I wish I was watching it because honestly, I get loads of questions because naturally they come in, and it's hard because I think a lot of what I say is backed up most of the time by experience and stuff like that. And then with this stuff, half the time I'm like, I don't know, am I giving you the right advice?
Yeah.
I don't.
And there's nothing worse than a man giving you period advice. I'm just like, you don't know the pain. You don't know. But there are lots of options to taking your Ziploc bag.
Yeah,
your
definitely.
chosen period product.
Wipes and sanitizer.
Yeah, so
as well,
unscented wipes. Plenty of.
Why unscented?
Because you don't want to be messing with your pH. You don't want to be uncomfortable. You're keeping it all natural.
Yeah.
And then there's other products like paracetamol. Keep paracetamol, and also keeping all your period products in a really accessible place in your day pack, so you're not having to unpack everything every time you wanted to go. There are other products that I've seen that CBD and hemp oils. There's a brand that I've used before called Ohne. It's OHNE. They're relatively new but really cool. Their marketing's amazing, and they have lots of balms and oils that you can just rub on your tummy and stuff when you have cramps, and they're super effective. But also just getting outside, when you're outside, it does help with your cramps, doesn't it? It's the last thing you kind of want to be doing at the start, but once you do get that fresh air, it does help with your cramps.
Yes. The one thing I'd urge a little bit of caution with the cannabis products while you're travelling.
Oh, that's
only
point,
because I read a story about some a basketball player, a girl from the US who I think is in prison in Russia. And I think because she had some cannabis oil or some form of cannabis product anyway.
Oh wow!
And I'm not sure on the rules.
Research.
But I just with any medication, someone wanted to bring tramadol and stuff like that, which is relatively safe in some countries, but I know if you bring that stuff to Pakistan for like K2, for instance, you will get a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So just look it up first. But
do your research first.
Yeah,
definitely.
but no, that is a really good thing. I think anything that's like that type of thing that, even if you bring what's the other one, that muscle relaxant everyone, that's Tiger Balm, would that help?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. It's not really for muscle.
I'll shut up.
You
don't know, Dave.
You don't know the pain.
You keep your mouth shut.
Have you had any period specific comments on that?
So Tina Barrett, I use disposable pants for EBC, highly recommend. Also loads of toilet stops en route. That is a good point on EBC because you are trekking through lots of local villages. So some of the toilets may be long drops, but at least there's lots of opportunity for privacy and stuff if you want to take your time sorting out whatever you've got to sort out. So have you any experience with period pants, the absorbent underwear? So that's for I still don't do social media. That might be an ironic nickname. But honestly, maybe Tina, maybe you could give some advice in the comments there about that type of stuff. Let's have a look. So Amanda Joy Hilton, might be a silly question, but on EBC, is there sinks in the toilets too? Not really in the toilets, I'll be honest with you. Most of the time, the toilets are pretty basic. But usually there is a sink area in most lodges, like a big long one where people can like wash and brush their teeth and stuff like that. So generally, you can get water or whatever you need from that sink and then take it in with you and stuff like that. But generally speaking, I would try. I don't. What would you need the water for? Is it washing the cup thing or something? Is it?
Yeah. So maybe a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Just on the trail. Yeah. You can just give it.
Do you have to wash that every day? Do you reckon?
Yeah, like when it's full.
When it's full.
So would that be like at the end of the day mainly you'd be washing?
Depends
on your flow.
Okay.
Depends.
Yeah.
No, because I'm only thinking because in the mornings and in the evenings when you stop, you can get like hot water if you want.
Yeah.
You can ask them to boil some water and stuff like that. If that's even more, if that's
you
better.
might need to rinse that out halfway through the day, but
give it a rinse.
Yeah.
Give it a thorough boiled clean at the end of the day.
Look.
Rosie's like, don't
make
it's like talking to my dad about.
What's that? What about disposing of tampons?
What's that?
Nat, is it? What about disposing of tampons? I guess just put them in a Ziploc bag, take them with you, pop them in a bin.
Honestly, it goes for a lot of stuff when you're out hiking. We always have, me and my friends will call it the bag of death. So like, when you go into the toilet and stuff like that, it's not nice to leave big piles of toilet paper and stuff everywhere. So we do our best to kind of have the bag of death. We put it in a Ziploc, it closed. It's the same goes, I imagine, for all of those like hygiene products,
And do you know what? Just put it in the bottom of your bag and just forget about it. And then when you've got a bin that you can just chuck it in.
I mean, you can get specific ones for period pads as well, can't you? I think they are actually slightly scented. Just in
cool.
Case anyone's worried about that.
It's worth an Amazon search. Definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. So is there anything else you guys want to touch on?
Did Dave just get burnt for being old?
I did just get burnt for being old,
It does look that way, doesn't it?
A little bit. What else have we got? Moving on. Backpacks, female backpacks. So that's a good one to talk about. So generally male backpacks, males are a little bit broader, taller generally, but I mean sometimes I've borrowed some of my boyfriends and they've been fine. I've borrowed others and they've been just completely too big and rubbed on my shoulders and everywhere else you don't want to be rubbed.
So like with women's ones, I know Rab do a women's like rucksack. You can get like different sizes in the backpacks, like small to medium to large and stuff. So it really does like suit your body shape. Yeah. Because like you said, men's can just be so big.
And they sometimes have the straps that go sort of like around your boobs as well, so they're not kind of pushed in. Some of them do, not many. Got like,
they got like maybe have like 4 boobs.
Yeah,
they just like splits you in half.
I've used the Osprey Cirrus I used for backpacking, and that was super comfortable. Didn't have any problems with that. Still using it like 8 years later. I know Fee said she bought the low alpine one, and it was a ND version. Apparently, the ND versions are always female. Which I didn't know, so that's handy to know.
No, we didn't either. Yeah. I mean, I think they're more or less Rab. So going forward, I think if you're looking for low alpine, it'll be Rab. but I think there are still low alpines out there.
Mhm.
But they're exactly the same. I just think they've just come under the Rab brand.
Yeah.
But it was quite funny because I was actually talking to Fee about it on the training weekend because she had a girls one, and I was thinking like, what actually is the difference? And then when she explained it, because they look identical, you could almost put them next to each other and not really know. But it's to do with the subtleties of the ergonomics and stuff. And one thing she said is, well, a guy's back might be a hell of a lot longer than a girl's back. So a large men's would be probably longer than a large women's.
Yeah.
So you don't want the bag like up around the back of your head or down by your butt, you know. So actually, when she explained it to me, I thought, well, it does actually make a lot of sense.
Fee also has the patience of a saint, which if you can like go about shops and just try them on, like you've got to just try them on and just see which works best for you, because you know Fee's favourite may not be your favourite. Everyone's body shape's different, so yeah, just finding what works for you, and then like you said, you keep it for years then, and it just works.
Yeah, I've used the Duta as well. They're really good. The Duta Futura, that was super comfortable as well.
Yeah. Awesome. So who's just commented? Leah, she has the Osprey Pro. Debbie has the Osprey Tempest. Is a women-specific great backpack.
Yeah,
that was really popular on the training weekend. Like all the girls had those. Yeah, they're really, really popular.
Yeah. Awesome. Are there any? I mean, I suppose there is boots as well. I guess I've seen like Maindel Bhutan do a men's and a women's boot.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm not again. I always had a very simplistic view of just like these are just boots. They're just longer, the bigger size you get. But I guess it's more to do with like I don't know what the width of the foot as well.
Yeah, I guess. Like,
but then
I
definitely know some girls that say they've got wide feet and would wear the men's, perhaps. But I guess, like you said, don't think of it in terms of men's and women's. Try on the whole range.
Yeah.
Find the ones that work for you.
Oh, bingo! Yeah. We've got a bingo from Jerome.
Oh yeah, because I mentioned Maindel.
Oh yeah.
They, I mean, a lot of them do wide fit now. I bought some new Scarlet ones, and they're wide fitting because my feet are quite wide. Yeah, so
Andrea's got she's got the Decathlon, very comfy. Is that the bag or boots? Andrea's great, right? So she had we met her on the training weekend. She just went to go up and do a sunrise walk.
Oh yeah.
And then she was just sat down in the morning at about 9 after having done her walk, and then all of a sudden, like a whole convoy of like Evertrek trucks turned up, and she's like, "What the hell's going on?" and stuff like that. But Andrea's actually, she was.
She said about the bag. Yeah.
I felt so bad for Andrea's. Probably, if I could give a medal for the customer I was the most gutted for, went to Kilimanjaro to summit with us, and just about to sort of board the truck to go to the start gate, tested positive.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
Absolutely gutted. But honestly, Andrea, I think, is going to join us on the next training weekend. So there'll be a great opportunity to check out her bag and stuff like that as well. And
sounds great.
Awesome. Leah, she wears men's shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kathy.
Most comfortable.
She has Zambalan boots. They're amazing. Let's have a quick look. Tracy says, can you take Ziploc bags as they for toilet? Okay, so I think there's a bit of discussion about, particularly in Tanzania, they don't want you to take any plastic bags and things like that.
Right.
Now, a large part of that is they don't want plastic bags brought up and left on the mountain.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's, they last for years and cause damage to the environment and stuff.
Yeah.
But what I found is that if you have these and you are taking them back with you, you don't make a song and dance about it, and you actually use them for a legitimate reason, there's not a problem, because you are allowed plastic bags in Tanzania, and I definitely had some. I usually, on most trips that I go on, I'll go and get some like Ziploc sandwich or freezer bags and stuff like that. Yeah. One to like put my electronics in if it starts raining, and then the bag of death, obviously.
Yeah.
So I honestly find that if they're in your bag, you're just being quite subtle with it. They're there for a legitimate reason, and you do bring them back. If you do leave them up there, then that is a problem, and you may get into trouble.
Yeah.
Georgie, what's that buzzing noise? It's loud. Oh.
I don't.
Dave, stop talking.
Yeah, that might be me. Honestly, there's no buzzing in here, just the laptop.
Can anyone else hear buzzing?
Yeah, Georgie, I think that's your computer, mate. I'd have a look at it.
It's about to take off.
Yeah. So awesome. Boots, bags, any other specific kit and stuff like that you'd recommend bringing?
Trousers.
Yeah, someone was asking. I know there was a question about trousers. I've got the Mammoth ones, which I just find super comfortable, super breathable. I know you bought
Are they
some
lightweight
recently.
ones?
Yeah, they're lightweight ones.
Yeah,
so really
yeah.
good for,
I've never used walking trousers before. I bought my first pair last week, I think it was. I love my Gymshark leggings. I'm so comfortable in them. They stay up. But obviously being on a track when it's super warm may not be the best thing. So yeah, I bought some trousers. I didn't want to spend a fortune. They were like 30 quid. They're from Decathlon and they were brilliant.
Great pockets as well.
Yeah, loads of good pockets. Lots of like really breathable material. They were flattering. They were like pretty high waisted, which I really like because there's nothing worse than like feeling like you're not all tucked in. And they had like a little belt around them, and yeah, they just seem really practical. So I guess we'll see how they go on Machu Picchu. I am planning on still walking in my Gymshark shorts on some days as well. But yeah, I'm definitely going to give them a go. I'll definitely get out in them in the UK before I go. I'm just waiting for the weather to be a bit cooler. But yeah,
they might be a bit warmer, I think, than just leggings and things like that as well. Right?
Yeah,
so on days,
well, if they get wet, they're going to be better than leggings.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I'm just thinking in terms of those going to like EBC, like Kalabata, stuff like that. Although honestly, 90% of the way up to Everest Base Camp in Tanzania, you probably can. Well, I know you can. I've seen loads of girls wearing stuff. There was one girl who had like a trekking skirt, which I'd never seen before. I think it had like little shorts underneath or something.
A skort, yeah.
There's a whole world in there that I'm just like, so I saw it and I was like, wow, I want one. But so this is like a real. I've never had to concentrate so hard on a Tuesday tuning before. Normally, boots, tops, t-shirts, all tucked in. I'm like, don't worry about it. Yes, I do like my clothes to be flattering. But yeah, I suppose it's a real issue, isn't it? People want to,
Yeah, I've just had to like always with my shorts. I've got like some nice like longer ones that cut off like 5 inches above the knee, just so it doesn't avoid chub.
Is that where the tan line is?
That I've got a really nice tan line there now. I went out for food in town the other day, and my friend was like, "What's going on? Have you like fake tanned really bad?" And I was like, "No,
I've real tanned
really bad, which is much more permanent."
Yeah. Amanda has asked a cultural question: weather dependent shorts and vests okay for EBC and Tupcal? Yeah, totally. I pretty much have. I mean, Morocco. That is a Muslim country, but it's not like it's very open and welcoming and accepting and stuff like that. Nepal, no problems there either.
Super liberal.
Yeah, super liberal, super nice. Everyone's really welcoming and friendly and things like that. I think it's always, anyone that's going trekking, any trekker that just wants to wear like cool clothes that's not seen as disrespectful, particularly in the mountains, because you need that. But yes,
be comfortable.
Certainly on I've only been to Tupcal once, but I've been to EBC. And Nepal many times, and I've always seen girls on the trail with like vest tops and shorts and stuff like that. And yeah, it's important. You've got to stay cool, and yeah, no problem at all whatsoever. I've never had any feedback either from the thousands of people that we've sent that they had an uncomfortable experience or something like that.
Yeah,
definitely longer shorts. So I think are better, like to avoid rubbing and stuff. Like, I mean, I know men have that problem as well. I know Andy and Dave have talked about taking Vaseline and stuff as well. So. Yeah, just making sure you've got all that with you.
Yeah. What was the cream that you mentioned earlier before you went on the live? Is it Chub Rub cream? Is it literally called Chub Rub?
No, that was just a name I put down for the rub.
Sorry.
Do you know what you should get that?
No. What do you recommend?
Yeah. So basically, what I tend to use is it's a cycling. They call it a chamois cream. And the reason why you do it is because inside your cycling shorts is like the chamois bit that goes round your undercarriage. And the idea is that you don't apply it to that, you apply it straight to your skin, and then it kind of, it's like heat resistant and stuff like that. But there are lots of different brands. There is a brand I talked about a little while ago. Sudafed.
Cream.
Sudafed. Yeah. That's a decongestion medication.
Yeah,
does he mean Sudocrem?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Utterly butterly.
But it's good as
from
well because if
Amanda.
your backpack's rubbing, I mean, obviously try and work before so it doesn't, but you can always use, your Vaseline or
Yeah,
whichever
sure,
other creams for your shoulders or your hips or.
Yeah, I'm gonna just put cream into my emails to see if I can find the one that I ordered.
Body
Body
Glide.
Glide.
No, there's
Have
lots
you
of
found it?
recommendations.
That's the one I had. Body Glide.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the one.
What
That's
Debbie's
the one
saying,
because what's really cool about that is they do a little travel one. It's only like this big, and it's like a little twist. You pull it up, and then you can rub it on
Right.
like that, and it's less
handy.
minging than a normal cream. Because the one thing I hate is like it's like slimy
Oh.
all day, But it does really help. Another thing is like I know this is this bad for humans or the environment or both, but like talc powder.
Yeah, it's not good for women, is it? Wasn't it linked to
all sorts of
some,
stuff.
some type
I'm not
of
sure.
I do
cancer
bring
or
it.
something,
I don't
I'm not
know.
sure.
I'm happy to if someone could offer an alternative.
Yeah.
Then I'd be great. But generally speaking, I've always got a little one.
They might have changed
And you give it a little-
yeah.
In your shoes and
Yeah.
in your undercrackers. You can also use it to clean your head.
Right
Apparently.
The
Yeah.
tone of this is really taking a dive. Right, next on our list.
I don't think there's much left on there. I mean, we've got dry shampoo if anyone needs a little freshen up.
Oh,
But
that's
that was just,
definitely going to be an essential
yeah,
on mine.
yeah.
Dry shampoo. There's nothing worse than
Yeah.
feeling like your head's just a ball of
Yeah.
keeping your nails short.
Grease.
Just suggestions.
Yeah,
but
you
it is handy.
big toenail in it for both men and women. I
We have them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Men have them.
yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Big toenail, like make sure you cut them down before
Yeah.
you go out because
Well,
I
Nothing worse.
forgot to on the weekend and
Really
it was
lost it.
horrible coming down Penavan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So painful.
I've got a little tiny set of travel clippers
Yeah.
that live on my
You've never
keys.
mentioned that.
Did you have them all weekend when Rosie needed them?
What are you saying that because I always mention it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, why did
Yeah,
you think
yeah.
to ask me? Rosie stole my fan on the weekend, by the way. She's not admitting to it yet fully, but I think we all know the truth. Did you have a nice sleep on Saturday? Was it quite cool?
I didn't have it on while I slept.
Oh, you didn't? So you stole my fan and didn't use it? Magical. No, that's great. Do you want to dive into some questions?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So the first question is from this is from a chap,
Okay.
and he's called Desi, and he's asked for a bit of this isn't. I'll just read this question. As a male who enjoys hiking solo, I sometimes come across solo females. Yeah, right there. I've seen them.
We're around.
They're like a snow leopard, very rare,
Lesser
quite shy,
spotted.
lesser spotted. What can I say or do to make a solo lady feel safe and at ease? I usually greet them and walk on so they don't feel threatened. But it would be nice to chat more, but I'm afraid of making them tense. I find that whenever I speak to girls, they start to feel tense and want me to leave the room. But I think that might be less of a threatening thing and more of a me being irritating thing. I don't know, girl. I think just a lot of the time, I think if you see a girl or a guy walking on their own, it's probably because they want a day out on their own.
Yeah. Just
So
say hi. Yes.
to say hi, and if they chat back, chat, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sorry, go off.
All right. So I'm practicing. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Rosie.
Bye, Dave.
Bye, Dave. Yeah, but I think
just keep doing that. Say hi.
But I think if
You're
you
doing the best thing. I think, it can always be a little bit daunting if you are a female going out on your own, and especially like being in the middle of the nowhere, and then a guy comes walking around the corner. Sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating. It's nothing that you're doing. It just is what it is. But yeah, just be friendly. Keep it brief, and walk on unless conversation is initiated. I guess you're doing everything right.
Yeah.
Well done.
you are, Desi. That's the Rosie seal of approval. They're hard to get. Excellent. So we'll move on to this next one. So Angela Gibbs has said, after a hip replacement last year and arthritis in my lower spine, she finds it hard carrying a backpack with much weight. So she tends to skip on carrying fluids. Don't want to do that. A river isn't always accessible. We all need fluids on a hike. I often get dehydrated. What would you suggest is the lightest way to carry water?
A bladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess distributing the weight. So like a bladder.
Yeah. I'm well for Machu Picchu. I'm going to be carrying a 3-litre bladder, and I'll probably take an Evertrek like filter water to go water bottle. So if I do come across a river or something and I'm low, for just £24, call us now. One could be yours. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, really don't get yourself dehydrated.
Maybe check if there's any more comfortable rucksack, something with maybe a better hip belt. Or...
Yeah, because you can take the weight off certain parts in how you have it, like kind of adjusted on your back. So yeah, see if you can, and go into store and like ask the guys in store, because a lot of the time they can have some really valuable feedback on like best ways to kind of make it most comfortable for you.
I think bladders are definitely the best way.
Yeah.
I think that you don't ever want to go on a hike and
they're
sacrifice
not
the water.
bulky either. They're not bulky.
No.
They just slide in and they don't take
so
much
room.
nicely,
the other thing that you can do is get normally we use a 3 litre water bladder on like long hikes and stuff. You can get 1.5 litres and just let your guide know that you're going to need to fill it up like halfway through. I'd be more inclined on our trips, when it is guided and you do have that support, to kind of ask for help carrying other items in your bag and not sacrifice the water.
Yeah.
Also, if you do start to struggle, you can always just ask for help and guys will carry your bag. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Someone carried my bag on Kilimanjaro on the summit.
Yeah.
It makes the trip more enjoyable, makes it easier, and that's what the guys are there for.
Yeah.
All right, I'll fire this one over again next. So Kathy has asked. She has a question for the ladies that hike. That's you too.
That'll be us.
That'll be you. What's your recommendation for a lady-specific? Well, we've kind of done this one. A lady-specific backpack. As everyone I have used hurts my shoulders, even if I'm not carrying much weight. I guess that's what you guys were saying earlier, which is about just trying out multiple different ones.
Yeah.
I know
making sure it fits you properly. Yeah. That could be a reason.
They used to, in Go Outdoors, you could try it on and they would have like weights there, so you could put it in to feel, how it would feel on your shoulders, your hips and wherever. I'm not sure if they still do it, but it's quite handy,
Awesome. I'm just going to dive into some comments because this is a really popular one. There's so many comments I can't keep up. Who'd have thought? Women have questions too. Donna Jane has said, unless you're on a serious budget for EBC, she wouldn't go with a dry shampoo. She'd invest in a couple of showers and take shampoo bars with you and your hair back in pleats. Bats?
Yeah.
I haven't got my spectacles. The rest of the time, it gets more expensive as you go up, but I'll never regret a couple of warm showers and hair washes for a couple of quid. Yeah, do you know what? She's got a good point.
Yeah, and those bars are fantastic.
Yeah, the bars are good.
Yeah.
And
my hair, like some people's hair can take a little while to dry, so I guess it's just what works best for you and your hair.
Yeah, and also the mental uplift you get from feeling clean and having a nice hot shower. Again, that's like a cross-gender issue. Do you have like so much anxiety? Like, what's he gonna say? Like, we're gonna be fielding complaints. Let's have a quick look. I thought that was from Jodie Morris there. So Steph has asked. She'll be working, so she won't be able to join live. That's okay.
Hi, Steph. Are you listening?
Yeah, a lot of people. Well, hi everyone who's not live.
Yeah. Oh, Vicky. Big shout out to Vicky. Vicky was on the training weekend, and she was like, "Yeah, I listened to you on by a podcast on the way back from work after work on Tuesday." So.
Yeah.
Hi. Love Vicky. Vicky rocks the Evercheck buff. She looks amazing.
Yeah. Where am I? I've lost my point. Okay, so what should we wear trouser-wise on EBC? I have tops galore, but confused by the rain trousers, trek tights, and
skirts.
Skirts. That's not a typo, is it? That's what we were talking about earlier. Skirts. This is not. How do you live? Do we wear layers, thermals? Thanks so much, Yetis. Advice for trekking? What do you go? Well, you've already said what you wear. What do you go with, Vicky?
Trousers.
Trousers, yeah.
Mammoths, I like them.
Yeah,
they're good.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Would you recommend a thermal trouser or like thermals as a separate layer and then like the trouser?
I'd go with the thermal trouser.
Would you?
Yeah, because I find that most of the time I probably only wear them when I need them, like when I'm going to Kalapata or in the evening and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's a little bit of a faff to have like the 2 layers on.
Yeah.
And also I find that with the thermal trousers, if you get like a pretty decent pair like Mammoths or Rab, you'll have like vents and stuff you can open down the side.
Yeah.
So if you do get too hot, you can do that. If you've got something on underneath, you're gonna have to find a rock, strip off down to your undercrackers, then strip back on and stuff. So it's, And I do like my. I pretty much 99% of the time just wear trousers, even if it's warm weather, because if it keeps the sun off you, you won't get sunburned and stuff. I've been sunburned on a high altitude trek before, and it's horrible because you burn, and then a few days later it's like really cold. Yeah. So you have this like horrible like sensation. Yeah. It's called sunburn. Yeah.
I guess just try it on though. Whatever's most comfortable is generally.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Wow, we have got so many questions. So the extreme version of the Shiwi, we haven't looked at it yet, have we? So shall I do a quick search? Have you got the questions there? I'm going to look for this. So you answer the next one, and I'll get you started.
Right, it's from Leah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was no plastic on Killy. Yeah, we've talked about that. Amanda, might be a silly question, but on EBC is there sinks? Oh, have we done that?
Yeah, we've done that one. The name of the trousers from Becky?
On here too, please.
Which
trousers, Becky?
Yeah. But of course, no worries, we can pop them on.
Yeah, we can pop them on the the ones I've got, I can pop the link on the High Altitude Abbey Trackers page if you like afterwards.
Oh, it might be the trousers the flap that you can open to.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember the name?
Yeah, I've got it written down. We can pop it on. Yeah, Chick-fly they were called. But we can pop the link in. No worries.
I found something called DP. It looks pretty big.
Oh yeah. That's interesting.
That looks pretty. It's a pretty large effort. I'm still struggling with to know what this difference is with the Shiwi.
Disposing of tampons on Killy. Yeah, just putting it in that Ziploc bag.
Oh, and then Fee said you can also get paper bags.
I've sussed
to carry your sanitary items.
I've sussed it. It comes with an extension pipe.
Oh!
That's the one I used to have with the extension pipe.
It comes with the extension pipe. So
I have tried it.
So you get a better aim.
Yeah.
Less of a spritz effect and more of like a
direct.
Yeah, a direct thing. It's just funny, isn't it? It's funny.
Yeah. Just talking about wee and toilets.
But honestly, it is something I take for granted. Like, having my own built-in extension. I can just like go to the toilet anywhere and not have to like get my.
It is a lot easier for men to be fair.
It is a lot easier. Yeah.
Georgie Carter's question on kit. UV rays on on EBC.
Yeah.
In October.
Awesome. Donna Jane is. Sorry, did you finish that button?
Well, no, that was a question.
Oh, that was a question. Sorry, say that again. I was reading and listening at the same time.
It's from Georgie Clark. Serious question on kit. What are the UV rays like on EBC in October? Is sun cream needed if we're wearing shorts, etc.?
Yeah. So the UV is always stronger at altitude. For those of you that have read Into Thin Air, you'll talk. John Krakauer talks about it, how he started to get like heat exhaustion from the UV on his way up to Le Boucher. So yeah, 100%. Always bring sunscreen. Factor 50, supersonic sun protection when you go up there. It's fine to wear shorts and things like that, but pretty much all the time on all the treks that I've been on, everyone's stopping and reapplying and stuff like that. And it is really important because you can get burnt at altitude without feeling like you're getting burnt because the UV is that little bit stronger. Often it's in the mountains, so you will get a little bit of a breeze. Happened to us on the weekend, particularly me, all the backs of my legs burn. I've realised now that if you need to protect an area, the spray is much better.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, Jodie told me.
Is it? Yeah.
Jodie
had a good sunscreen.
Bum sun, I think it was called, or sunbum.
Sunbum, I think it was.
Sunbum. What's the one you mentioned to me before? You mentioned one, and apparently Posse. I remember thinking like, there's something Posse.
Never heard of it.
The Piz
Buin?
No.
Yeah,
no. It's something.
I don't know.
Well, it might not have been you. It might have been someone on here that recommended like the sun to me because I was quite keen on getting a really good one. recommendations for sunscreen, anyone? I'm certain it'll come back. But yeah, La Roche-Posay.
Is that what it was?
That was it. Yeah, that was it. Oh, it might have been Shona that told me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the one. See, it's coming in there. They all know. They all know. Yeah, I heard that that's really good stuff. Probably from Shona. But yeah, 100% bring factor 50. You're not really up there to get a tan. You're up there to kind of do your adventure and stay healthy and not get burnt and stuff like that.
Yeah. You don't want to be burnt and like then have to put your backpack on and it, like it would be so painful. Just protect yourself, guys.
I think more so for girls as well because they do wear those like vest tops more commonly than guys do. So you do get your shoulders exposed, a bit of the back exposed, and those places they just get fried. So yeah, Sarah Dickinson, any recommendation on sports bras?
Oh, Fee is having a nightmare at the minute, isn't she? She's cursing. What brand was it? It might have been one that she got from Decathlon, and she said she got it a few years ago, and then they've now changed the shape of it, and she's like nothing's comfortable anymore. So she's having a bit of a nightmare. I like my Under Armour ones. I have like really simple Under Armour ones.
They're the ones that I use. I love them. They're not like super supportive, but they're great for tracking.
No, but like we were talking about this. Yeah, we were talking about this on the weekend. Like you don't necessarily need something that's gonna like hold you like super tight, and like that's probably it's probably not what you want either. It's dependent on like how much support that you want, whether like you get padded and stuff, like but I just have the thin ones. I take the pads out as well. And
they don't have like clasps. I don't know if that's the one you've got. Mine doesn't have a clasp or anything on the back, so it minimises rubbing and stuff as well. So they're super good.
Yeah, and awesome. Adjustable straps as well are really good because then you can just kind of fit your shape. Yeah.
Staying with bras, also on sports bras, would you say bamboo or merino is necessary, and any tips for bigger busts? That question is from Becky Miles.
I would just say just get a more supportive one if you've got a bigger bust, just to minimise the movement, because that's where you're going to find you get some pain and things like that. So definitely a more supportive one, like the adjustable straps, as Rosie said, so you can pull it up and make sure you're nice and secured.
But bamboo and merino, absolutely. This just makes them super breathable and stuff. I don't have a bamboo or merino one at the minute. I literally just use my ones for the gym, but I will be buying one for Machu Picchu. Just I have one. And
is this the type of thing you'd buy before you went and wear a few times? Like,
I think I would for anything.
You would, So you wouldn't buy a few and then just use them on the first day. Like, can you get really uncomfortable ones or something?
I don't think it's like buying a new pair of trainers though, where it's going to like give you blister. I think as long as maybe do a quick gym session in one, just make sure that you're not.
I just heard the bras can be really uncomfortable.
And so you try it on in the shop and stuff. and make sure that you're
checking out the
support.
Check these. Sometimes they have elastic. I know the Under Armour ones do run the bottoms, checking that's not too tight.
Be
annoying.
Oh, there's my friend. So Helio, when we were when I was trekking to EDC, I think in maybe 2017, I think it was, and his partner Joanna were there, and they got halfway to EDC, and Joanna started being really sick. So when I was there, I grabbed her a rock. Just so she had a gift, and she still got it. Amazing.
Cool.
2017. Sorry, I should have read the whole thing. They're from Brazil.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, still. That's what I love about trekking. See, like they weren't on our trip; they were on their own. But you meet people on the same schedule. So we were chatting like all the way up, pretty much. And then I felt so bad for Joanna because she was so strong all the way up. And then just literally then, because we expected to see her like at Gorachep and base camp, and then on the way back we heard that she was really unwell. It was quite lucky then because my father he turned back as well. So we went to base camp and then back to Lobouché instead of staying at Gorachep. So we caught up with them, and I got trying to rock just a nice little. Because she deserved it, she deserved to get there. Because anyone that gets that high and then gets struck down with something like that is so gutting. Honestly, Helio, Joanna, I hope you guys are both doing well, and hopefully we'll see you in the mountains again soon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's have a quick look. So Hans Grande, Grande. Is it possible to grab a hot shower every day on the EDC trail, or at least sponge down in the last high altitude bits? No, it's not really possible. So there are a few points on the trek. Generally, I'll probably have 2 showers in 11 days when I'm trekking in base camp. That's one at Namche on the way up, which is only at like day 2, and then another one on Namche on the way down, which is on day 10. There are some other places you can do it, but it's hit and miss whether they're hot, because all the electricity and power they have is solar. So if it's cloudy or bad weather, they won't have hot water. Some places do what they call a bucket shower. I had one in Tengboche. It was the best thing ever. They give you the huge deep bucket full of just this perfect hot water, and you can just plunge down. If you see one of them, by all means do it. It's amazing. But 99% of the time, I'll get like wet wipes and things like that. Get into the room and then just like towel down the main danger zones, put them in a little Ziploc bag of death, and then unfortunately, when you're trekking at high altitude, you're going to get pretty dirty. You can't have a shower every day. It's about trying to minimize the damage.
Everyone's in the same position.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's even harder on Kili, actually, I found, because in Kilimanjaro, you're in tents all the time. Everyone knows when they're camping. If there's no showers or anything, it's harder anyway.
Yeah.
And also, it's just dust everywhere.
Yeah.
So I actually stopped washing pretty much and just gave myself a little spray just to take the edge off. Yeah. Largely because you'd wet yourself with all these and then you'd be kind of sticky. And then the moment you touched anything, it was like worse than it began. You know. So actually, I never really bothered, But everyone's all the same, so you will stink, but then everyone else stinks. Yeah. So you don't really stand above the average stink,
All in it together.
So Donna Jane has said she's interested in going in Kili, more camping, less shower opportunities. Yeah, as I just said, no showers on Kili whatsoever. The only washing you'll do is stuff that you can do yourself. But yeah, I suppose what we mentioned earlier: toy shampoo, put your hair in plaits,
braids,
in pleats and stuff like that. Yeah. Awesome.
Wipes,
Let's have a quick look into the questions. So Amanda saying you can get bigger body wipes for washing. Can you? Amazing.
That's good.
Like an A4 sheet of paper wet wipe or something. Seriously, if you can, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah. I'm going to look that in. See, it's a 2-way street.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look. Lost half of mine. So Donna's replying to something. So well, Dave, I would agree with your bra expertise. I would definitely try a whole day of walking in a new sports bra before choosing to take it on a trip. That's from Millie.
Yeah.
There's, a few points in my life where I've been borderline needing one. So it's a good point to check it in. For those wondering about those trousers, they're Rab Vaporize are amazing. I would agree with that, Kevin. They're really good. I've got a pair myself, so yeah, really enjoy those. I think we definitely missed some questions, so I'm going to try and get up here. What's the link here? What's this here? Chemist Warehouse. Sunscreen. Nice. Yeah, lots of recommendations for sunscreen here. So yeah, really, really important. Shock absorber bras are a good tool from Jodie Lee Morris. Shock absorber bras?
Oh. Yeah, shock absorber are good.
What are they? For what purpose?
They're just, I used it for the half marathon. They're just
really, for like when you're running to try and...
They're like really high impact, so they stop any bouncing really. So, they are good.
Shock absorbing bras.
I was also reading earlier, there's something called going back to peeing, there's something called a cooler cloth, which is like a what's the word? Antimicrobial? Is that how you say it?
I have no idea what it is. Yep.
So just a cloth that you can use to, wipe yourself, so you're not, I don't know, if you don't want to take tissues, just take a cloth and you can use it, rinse it out at the end of the day, and keep using that.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's something I was reading about.
So Amanda here said, my Camelback Ultra is super comfy. Would like to try the Harrier range though. So I think that's referring back to the not wanting to carry too much water and weight and stuff like that. Camelback are pretty good make. I've got a hiking Camelback because they're designed obviously with that water in mind. Yeah. So quite often, I know some of the range have instead of like a long tubular bladder, it's kind of like a wider one that kind of sits around your waist.
Okay.
So the water is like distributed like around your waist and stuff like that. Yeah. kind of helps. Balancing the weight in the rucksack, says Millie, it helps too. Bladder is usually central in the bag compared to big water bottles on the side.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good point, isn't it? You know, you see people have got a litre of water weighs a kilo. So if you have just one bottle on the side, which is a kilo, that's...
You'll be walking in circles, yeah.
It's actually quite funny. Yeah, so Donna, unless you want a serious... But oh yeah, that's the dry shampoo and stuff like that. So I think...
we still haven't seen a video evidence of a dancing Yeti.
Yeah. It'll come, I'm sure, at some point.
Well, we're going out for drinks on Friday, so watch this space.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Amanda says, I always go with my gut when coming across strangers. I think that's with the solo trekking thing.
Yeah.
That is another thing we could actually talk about, really, I suppose, is like solo trekking. Because I actually think two things. One, is that Andy? I can hear. Yeah, I think Andy's here. So women, I think, are generally braver trekkers than men. We get probably a lot more solo female trekkers than we do men. But as a result of that, we get a lot of questions about, like, you know, solo trekking and things like that. So is that something you guys have done or have any experience with, or did you?
I like to get out by myself. Yeah. I really enjoy it, and I find it quite empowering as well. But it is important to have your wits about you. You never know. You know, making sure your phone's fully charged and whatnot. But
you know where you're going.
Yeah, and someone else knows that, like, your kind of route and stuff like that. It's you have got to have your kind of head switched on, but it is empowering to kind of go out by yourself. I think.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think often if I go out on my own and then I come across other people on their own, generally speaking, it's just all right, morning, and then you just carry on, because most of the time they do like trekking on their own. Like I think it was Desi said he likes to. Well, so do everybody else, whether a male or female. So you don't really want to kind of. There are no tricks of the trade that you can use to kind of immediately calm anyone, you know. Yeah. So generally speaking, I think if you fancy a hike with some people, there's loads of really good hiking groups you can join, meetup groups and things like that, where it's, you know, expected and encouraged to kind of be open and chatty. But I think if you're just out on your own and you come across someone randomly, leave them alone. Yeah.
Probably just enjoying some quiet time. And,
exactly. Yeah.
There was one thing that Fee mentioned before we came in here about keeping cool on a trek.
About the backpack thing.
About what's it called? Yeah, when after women have their periods and stuff and they get older, what is it called? Menopause. Yeah, like women dealing with heat.
Yeah.
When they're going through menopause, like I've heard there's like some sprays and stuff, definitely worth a Google search, but something I'm going to try and do a bit of research on and talk about in the article I'm writing.
Yeah.
I have heard that there's like certain sprays and stuff that you can get to keep you cool. I'm not sure whether there's medication as well, but yeah.
There is a
Make
rag.
Sure you keep drinking, keep hydrated.
Like a towel called Stay Cool. And if you wet it stays cool for up to 2 hours.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you can like wet it and then put it around your neck, or wrap it around your head.
Well, and your buff as well, like just wetting your buff and putting it around your neck is an idea. And just being aware as well, like some medications can make you hotter. I know that's been a big talking point, like since we've had this really hot weather in the UK. Like certain like antidepressants and stuff can make you like a lot warmer, so you can be a lot more prone to like overheating and stuff. So just be aware of stuff like that and just really try and keep yourself cool. Dave had a handheld fan, didn't you, on the weekend?
Well, for parts of my weekend, yeah.
You can get the ones that go around your neck now, can't you? They look like headphones.
Yeah, they
can.
Yeah, and it was literally like £13, was it, from John Lewis, and you literally just held it.
Yeah, that's where the quality comes in.
Yeah, really effective.
No, it's brilliant.
And it was rechargeable.
Yeah, it was rechargeable. And honestly, like initially when you put it out, everyone's not too sure. Do I take the mick out of this guy?
Yeah.
And until they use it, and then they're like, nah, to be fair, that is great. You know. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, girls. I think that's pretty much it. We've reached the end of the Tuesday tune-in, but I guess if anyone has any questions, they can always drop them in and have a chat.
Absolutely.
And
Definitely.
We'll get you back on. I think there was a big demand to see Jodie on the live, I think, at the beginning, wasn't there? A lot of people.
There was.
Yeah, so, I think we'll have to get her on there. You know, I thought Jodie might be a good one for training, because she does a lot of running and stuff like that. So
she's fit as a fiddle,
So I reckon we'll get Jodie on a fitness one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll talk about some fitness and training. But awesome. Thanks, guys. And,
Catch you soon.
We'll catch you all soon.
Bye.
this is where